we've got one brick coming out onto our, instantiating onto our scene after we push space. So how do we get multiple? We could do it this way. We could get the instantiate script and just copy and paste it multiple times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could set these variables of the x. So if we wanted our, looking down again, x, if we wanted the bricks to start from the center here, 0 and 0, and we wanted a brick here, brick here, brick here, we would plus the x by 1 every time. So we would do this. Let's see what happens. Did I save? That should make a line of bricks that go across here when I push spacebar. There they are. Okay, this is not very good code though, so we're going to change this and use an iteration or a loop. This is a smart way to do it, and this is the programming mindset that I want you to instill in yourself when you're coming across situations like this where there's code that needs to be done over and over and over. So we're going to use a for loop. We're going to set a variable in this for loop to use as for the condition, to check the condition. This will be, let's make a column of bricks that go up first. So we're going to call it up. I'm going to set it to 0. We're going to go 5 up, so while up is less than 5, so 0 to 5, 0 to 4 would be, we're going to create 5 bricks. We're going to, every time we loop, we're going to add 1 to this variable, and we're going to loop. So this loops, any code in between these two parentheses will get fired off, and it will loop exactly 5 times starting from 0, because this is the condition. The first time it loops it's at 0, second time we plus 1, that'll be 1. Is 1 less than 5? Yes. Loop again, that'll be 2 because we plus 1 to it. Is 2 less than 5? Yes, and so on until we get to 4, or until we get to 5, and then 5, is 5 less than 5? No, 5 equals 5. So then it will break the cycle and continue on down whatever next code stuff that we have down here. So we're going to put in now our instantiate code inside of this loop. Now this is going to loop 5 times as we said, but its location isn't going to change. So we're just simply going to instantiate 5 cubes in exactly the same spot. We want this to instantiate 5 cubes stacked on top of each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in like a column. So we know that this is x, y, and z. The up, if we were to make a column, we would have to edit this variable, the y variable. So we know that this is starting at 0. We don't want that to start at 0, but we could replace that 1 with the up and go plus, whoops, I don't know what happened there, up plus 1. So it's going to start at 0. Or we could do this actually. We'll go here and then we'll go to 6. And then we don't need this plus 1 here. So we're starting at 1. We're going to set our first brick at 0 and 0 on the x and z. And on our y-axis, we're going to go 1. The next time around, that y-axis is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th time it's going to exit the for loop. So hopefully we'll get 5 bricks. Let's see what happens. Spacebar, there's our 5 bricks. Let's just get a better view here. If we go spacebar again, whoops, it puts them back there, but obviously because the physics is on, they all clash and they have to go somewhere, so they do that. Alright, so we have a column, but how do we make a column or a wall full of bricks? we're going to have to put another for iteration in. So this time we're going to go for the sideways. This is for the vertical. I'm going to tab that over, and we're going to make a vertical column here, 1, and then a vertical column, 1 over, and then another vertical column, 1 over. So for int, we're going to call this across equals 0, because we're going to start from 0, and while across is less than 5, and every time we loop through, we're going to plus 1 to the across variable. Open the curly brackets, and I'm going to go down. Don't get confused by curly brackets here. I close the curly bracket after the close of the curly bracket for the first for. And you can tell where curly brackets belong, because when you click on one or click next to one, it highlights the closing. So I know that up here we have the start of a class, it closes down here. We have the start of the start function that closes there. We have the start of an update function that closes here. We have an if, closes here, and that for closes here. So don't get confused. Now we have this across, and we know that in here, this is our x, and this is our x. So if we go up again and zoom out, we know that this is 0. So if we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're up to 4. That should make a column of bricks here, a column of bricks in the 1, a column of the bricks, and so on. So all we need to do is turn this x into a cross, because it's going to use the same number from this first for. So let's follow this. For across is set to 0. We're going to go into here. The up is equal to 1. We're going to go through, instantiate a brick at 0, because we're at 0. The up is going to be 1, so 1 above. And then we're going to go through that 6 times. We're going to make a column of bricks that are 5 bricks high. Then that's going to finish, and then it's going to come out, and then it's going to, remember that's in this first for loop. This across is going to be set to, because we're plussing 1, it's going to be set to 1. Then it's going to go back in here and do the 6 bricks, or the 5 bricks vertical again, but instead of 0 in the same x position, this is going to be 1. So we should have a column of bricks here, a column of bricks here, and so on. Let's see. Spacebar, and there's our brick wall. We have a 5 by 5. The spacebar again. Awesome. So you have a nested iteration for loop.